very, very special guest. And this is something I've been looking forward to for, I'll be honest with you. I was nervous reaching out, and your response was so thoughtful and so wonderful that my nervousness um, completely disappeared until now, until talking to you now. Um, but the responses that I get from Course in Miracles teachers, students, really shows the whole I'm here only to be truly helpful. Uh, which brings me to the point. Are we here to be truly helpful? And what's that mean?
Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on your show. I apologize to anyone who's here live. I'm in the UK and it's daylight savings time, and I am late for this interview because I got the time wrong. But as far as your question, are we here to be truly helpful? Yeah, absolutely. The course says that each of us have a general function of healing and forgiveness. And we both know that when you forgive, that is healing. And it is truly helpful to the person who is being forgiven. And the course also goes on to say that we have a special function, which is our unique role in God's plan for salvation, which is the healing of the whole world. But yeah, at the end of the day, it all boils down to love. And love is truly helpful to the person who's being loved, and it is truly helpful to the person who's loving. That's how we heal. That's how we get home.
Um, when I sent you the title and you said this is one of your favorite things to talk about, uh, I'll be honest, it has not always been my favorite thing to talk about because after after this last election, and not to get political, uh, I did not want to, even before this election, because of the previous few elections, I just did not want to uh, engage. I wanted to be a Course in Miracles recluse. I wanted to be a yogi. My former title of my channel was Just a Yogi in His Basement. I wanted to be just a yogi in his basement. Um, but what started showing me a different way was you and Robert, and that the course is about being engaged, because you are my salvation. The person who in front of me, who I might disagree with politically or on a host of other, is still my salvation. It's through my, as you just said, it's through my love for him or her, um, that I truly start to recognize myself. So if I don't engage, I'm lost.
Yeah, the course says that God has one question for us, and it's, are you ready yet to help me save the world? I certainly understand the temptation to withdraw. The world just seems like it's a barrage of heartbreaking news every day. And at the same time, there's real suffering at the end of that news, and we should care about it. One of my favorite quotes is from Marianne Williamson, where she said that those of us who are in the transformation higher consciousness community should be the last to sit out political discussions because we're the ones who know how to change the human heart. And when you know how to change the human heart, you know how to change the world. And I also agree with Marianne when she was talking about how when the spiritual community touches various industries around the world, things change for the better. Spiritual community gets involved in agriculture and more organic food shows up in the world. Spiritual communities get involved in business, and all of a sudden people are talking about mindfulness. Spiritual community has not gotten involved in politics, and politics is a frightening word to a lot of people, but at the end of the day, all that politics is how do we get along with each other? How do we organize society so that we can live together in harmony? And that is what A Course in Miracles came to do, to teach us a better way to get along. And so why wouldn't we sit out this area of the world where we have so much to give?
So when the course says, "Do not seek to change the world, but seek to change how we see the world," it's not excluding us being active, of us, if we're called to pick up a sign, we do so, but with a loving heart. We do so. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, please go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, that's okay. Um, so I think a lot of people take that line as a reason not to become socially or politically engaged. That it's an inward journey, but an inward response doesn't preclude the external response either. I find that the more that I seek to change my thoughts about the world, the more now I want to start reaching out to people um, in a meaningful way. And you're, I think, one of the most meaningful things that I've watched recently is your video of the social role of A Course in Miracles and your talk of the little garden, which was just absolutely beautiful. And I actually wrote in my blog about my own little um, uh, thoughts on that little garden and how my role is to invite you into the garden to nourish you spiritually, physically, uh, emotionally, however it might be, to be truly helpful, to welcome you in my garden. And when you're ready, you step away, but you carry it with you. Now you have your extension of the garden. You said it so beautifully. I hope everyone watches it because I've been talking about it quite a bit.
Oh, that's really sweet of you.